Hello, you join me back out with the camera this week. I'm out in the Kent countryside, although I've not got a clue where I am, which I'm sure is a comfort for you watching. I've been given a tip, no, two tips, one from a local, the other from another photographer, on the hunt for some wild garlic. That's right, last week it was bluebells, this time around it's wild garlic. Can't find it very often in Kent, it doesn't grow too much around here. So when you're given some advice like this, it's difficult to pass up on, isn't it? Local knowledge, photographers' experience, those two things are gold dust, aren't they? We've all got our locations. We've got our locations where we know where the compositions are, whether it's a well-known spot or a hidden gem. It's always a spot that maybe somebody else doesn't know. We like to keep them to ourselves, don't we? Because what we don't want to see happen is we don't want to see those quiet hidden gems become popular. Visitors flood to them and they don't get treated the same way. So those beauty spots end up becoming an absolute mess. Wild garlic, that's one type of flora. I've always struggled to find it. Found some last year and it was an absolute, I couldn't believe my eyes. It's so beautiful. It's even more beautiful than bluebells, in my opinion, the white and the greens over the greens and the blues. I've been given two tips though. Photographer and a local, someone local who suggested if I head this way, I might be able to find something. It's the trouble. You can be told, oh, there's wild garlic here, there, but you've still got to find it, haven't you? I haven't got a clue where I'm going today. Any ideas? Right, I must be getting close. I think I can smell something. Always a good marker with wild garlic. Even, hang on. Right, we've got some through the trees. Let's see what happens if we go this way. Wow, would you look at this? This is stunning. This is one of the best spots where I've ever found wild garlic from. That's why I say local knowledge, getting tips on where to go for certain shots from other photographers. It's photography gold. You can't pass up being given tips such as this one, you really can't. Of course, as we've already found, just getting the tip, it's not enough. You've got to come out and find it, but when you come across wild garlic like this, wow, yeah, I'm a little bit speechless actually. It's just beautiful. You've got this little stream going through. I might have to come back with my wellies one day. Yeah, bit of a job finding this spot, but well worth it. think it might be one of those locations, one of those days where I find it better to come out on a different day, maybe earlier in the morning, maybe when the sun isn't at its highest. It's around 2 o'clock in the afternoon at the moment, so quite unusual for me to come out this time of the day for photography. Although originally coming out here, it was planned as nothing more than a scouting trip. And instead, like anything before, I've got the tripod out, I've got the long lens on, and it's just taking in some of the detail, it's about taking in some of the detail at the moment. We've got all of these fallen trees, all these fallen tree trunks, tree stumps dotted around. As I imagine this woodland would look so much better if it was at the height, the prime of its beauty. But of course you work with what you've got, don't you? And these fallen tree trunks, the tree stumps, they're just allowing me just to act as like a little subject in and around where the wild garlic has grown. And one thing you can't take for granted when you're out at a location such as this is the smell. You really can smell the wild garlic. Beautiful sight, but of course these images, watching on video, there's no substitute for being out here in a location like this. You're no doubt wondering as well, Neil, what on earth are you doing using a tripod? It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's a bright, beautiful, sunny day. It's not the conditions where you need a tripod. And I'll walk you through the settings that I've currently got on the camera, and you're probably wondering even more, well, why have you got the tripod out? You see, I'm at ISO 100, don't need to be at anything any brighter. F8, trying to get everything nice and sharp, and I'll come back to that in just a second. And that gives me a shutter of 1/160th of a second. So like you say, I could be shooting this scene that I'm pointing towards right now, handheld. There's no need to be on the tripod. However, I've got the long lens out. I'm shooting at just under 300mm at the moment. There's a tree stump just off in the middle of the field, surrounded beautifully by the wild garlic. And of course, the problem is I'm finding at the moment, so I focus in on the tree stump on its own. I'm looking at the back of the camera, and everything from the tree stump back towards the camera is nicely in focus, and everything across to the left of the tree stump is nicely in focus. But it's everything at the back, it's everything behind the tree stump. It's the wild garlic behind the tree stump. It's that I can't get into focus. That is a bit of a blurry mess. So I've got two choices. I can either take this one shot handheld using the settings I've just used, focusing nicely on the tree stump and not worry about the background. Or what I could also do is I could focus in on the tree stump, just glance, okay, make sure I know what I'm getting in focus, what I'm not getting in focus, take a first shot, and then I can move the focus box over to the background, and then I'm taking a second shot, leaving the settings as they are. ISO 100, f8, 1/160th of a second. Take that second shot, and then back home in Lightroom, I can focus stack them, I can merge them both together. And what it should hopefully mean is that I should end up with a beautifully sharp image from front to back. At least that's how it should work in principle, at least. You know, I really think this is going to have to be a location where I come back, maybe shoot it a little bit earlier in the morning, maybe when the sun has gone down a little bit, or when it's not risen quite so much. I think the light just making it difficult to get any real detail out of the wild garlic, but I'll see how the images turn out when I get home and I'm reviewing them back in Lightroom. This though has been one really special, one really amazing trip out with the camera. Probably one of my favourites this year. to date. So this is where I'm going to leave you and head back home. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one, but for now, goodbye.